Hey, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. A double honor to our apostles at Great Millstone who rule and teach road through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Our apostles that taught us this doctrine that we continue in, and who rule well. A peace, love, and mercy be unto you, Akim, that's pushing the true doctrine, that's hazarding your lives to get this message out and to uplift the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. A peace be unto you and Shalom. As the name of this lesson, being content shows faith. What is being content? As it says right here in the etymology, it says state of mind which results from satisfaction with present circumstances. Now, it's not being content as far as you're happy to be in America under the rulership and the leader of this devil, but being content in a state of having faith that the Most High Heavenly Father would deliver you from this situation. And the fact that you're going through all of the things that you're going through and catching as much hell as you're doing is basically strengthening you so that you will be able to last in the time of trouble. Ak, if you can grab Revelations 3 and 10, because there's a temptation period that's about to come upon the world to try man, and that's the moment when this devil implements the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, and he makes it mandatory. Now, what comes along with the RFID chip? A collapse of an economy, the loss of riches, the loss of life as you know it, losing your job. And a lot of people, because they're not content in the belief of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, they're going to be willing to sell their souls in order to get that life back. So, Baba Kashai, grab that scripture.
Revelations 93 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And what is the hour of temptation? Can you jump over to Revelations 13 and 16?
I got it right here. Revelation 13 and 16, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell or save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And there is wisdom, let him that understand count the number of the name of the beast, for it is the number of a man. It is his number 636.
Now, in that moment, basically, it tells you right here in the book of 2nd Ezra 16. And let me pull up the whole chapter, Salakia, because this just came to mind. I wasn't intending on getting it, but you're gonna have a lot of people, selling their soul and selling out because they're carnal. They don't know how to be content. They don't know how to have faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that the Most High will give them whatever they need, to be satisfied. A lot of these people aren't satisfied, and that's the reason why they do a lot of the things that they do. For an example, Jake isn't satisfied, and just in your mind, kind of like think of faith. Whenever I say satisfied, just think of faith. All right. Jake doesn't have faith that the Most High Heavenly Father can bless him in the the condition and state that he in. Jake isn't content with what he has. So Jake will go out and rob for it. Jake will go out and steal. He will go out and kill. You got women that will go out and commit lewd behavior for it, and I'm speaking about riches or just to have the basic necessities. You know, like it talks about in the book of Sirach, the 29th chapter, verse 21, it says the chief things of life is water, bread, and clothing, and a house to cover shame. It also says right over here in the book of Sirach 39 and 26, it says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. So just to have those basic necessities, you know, the principal things or the chief things of a man's life, they will go out and do unnatural things to receive them. So just imagine when they're faced with the circumstances to come, when they're faced with the hour of temptation, you know, that cometh upon the world to try man. And the scripture that I'm looking for is in Second Ezra 16 and 68. I found it. It says, "Behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle of things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. And who are the ones that will consent unto this devil when he come to feed you with those things that are offered unto idols, which is the RFID chip? It's going to be the ones that are not content. It's going to be the ones that are not satisfied. All right. See, just having faith and trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not enough for Jake. You know, Jake has to be rich. He has to be on top. He has to be the one that's getting it, the one with the bag. All right. He has to be the one that got it out the mud and that's shining on the rest of you people. Hey, can you read Proverbs 23 and 4, Baba Kasha?
Okay. You said 23 and 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kai. Proverbs 23 and 4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom.
Read 25 as well.
Okay. 25? Okay, Kai. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, but she shall be bare and verse 5. That's what you want.
Verse 20. Verse 5, Salakia.
Okay. I will set thy eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings and fly away as an eagle towards heaven.
And that's exactly what's going to happen with the riches of America. You know, America's economy is like a balloon that's ready to pop. You know, and all of you people that so-called have riches here, you're going to lose everything in a moment. And because you're in a dire need to get those things back, you're going to sell your soul to the devil. You're going to take this chip and you're going to allow this man to implant that device in you just so that you can get those things back. But the scripture says, labor not to be rich and cease from thine own understanding. You know, when it comes down to money, the scripture says this, all right? And it's not talking about actual money. This is Matthew 6 and 19. It says, lay up for yourselves treasures, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So that's talking about building up a spiritual bank account. All right, because you want protection, you want deliverance and salvation from the things that are to come. You want to be able to be acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you know? So in order to do so, you need to be content right now. You need to suffer as need required.
How you got that?
Where your treasure is,
go back there.
Also. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 22. Matter of fact, I'll just read through. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore the eye be single, the whole body is full of light. And what does it mean for the eye to be single? That means to be focused. All right. Ultimately, your focus should be on the kingdom of heaven. It should be getting out of America. But getting out of America doesn't entail, all right, you going to finishing high school, getting a high school diploma, going to college for 9 years and getting different degrees, different levels of degrees, so that you can get a job to be able to buy a passport and have enough money to move your family out of here. You know, you can't buy your way into the kingdom of heaven, or you can't buy salvation. You know, so your eye being single, that's you, you know, believing upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and having faith, operating in faith, so that when the time comes, you know, the Most High Heavenly Father would deliver you up out of this place. It says, but if thine eye be evil, the whole eye shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is indeed be darkness, how great is that darkness? It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High Mammon. And just to read a little bit more on this, it says, therefore I say, take no thought for your life and what you shall eat and what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, yet what ye shall put on. Is not thy life more than meat, and thy body more than raiment? And to some people, their body isn't more than drink, or their body isn't more than raiment, or their body isn't more than meat. Therefore, they do strange things in order to get those things. So how much more so, you know, in the time of Jacob's trouble, in the time of temptation, when there's a lot of hell and a lot of stress put on them. For an example, all right, back when Israel was sieged, you had women and men that were eating their children just to survive. So how much more so in these times? Because these are the same people. Baba Kashai, can you grab Proverbs 30:7?
I already got it.
Oh, you got it? Kind of go ahead.
This is Proverbs 30:7. Two things have I requested of thee, and not them. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies, and give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. At least I'll be filled full, and deny thee, and say who is the Lord, or at least I be poor and steal, and take the name of my power in vain. So this is Solomon basically asking for neither poverty nor riches, just having enough to get by, like that song Jake got, just to get by, just having enough to get through this captivity, because at the end of the day, this is not rest.
Kindness, right?
This isn't supposed to be a place of our joy. This is supposed to be a hell. So we just hope that Yahweh shall give us enough to get through day to day. Yeah, to wake up in the morning, have food, to have clothes. You about to say something?
I was gonna ask, can you grab James? I want to say it's like 1 and 3. You know, because the things that you don't have is good for you. You know, the suffering that comes upon you is good for you. You know, those situations where you barely have enough to eat. You know, you're just eating beans the whole week. You know, beans and rice the whole week. You know, thank Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave you enough to get through that week or to get through that time. But you may be looking at it like, man, I'm suffering the curses, man, I'm catching hell. But that is actually strengthening you. all right, for the time to come, because we're going to be faced with times where we might not have nothing to eat at all, or you might just have beans to eat. And because you already went through situations like that, you know, throughout your lifespan in America and all of the hell that you were catching, you're not going to bug out the way that people will bug out that haven't been through anything like that. For an example, if an Edomite from one of these suburban neighborhoods was to go through the things that we went through and to live under the conditions that we've been forced to live under, they will commit suicide. And that's a fact right there. You know, so you should be joyful for those experiences that you have, man, because what it's doing is it's the same way when you go to the gym and you work out your muscles. You know, when those muscles, in order for the muscles to grow, they have to rip, they have to tear. So that's not a good feeling. You're sometimes you leave the gym in great pain. You can barely walk, your legs hurting, but you got a lot of strength in your legs, or you got a lot of strength in your arms, or you got a lot of strength in your back. And you feel strong, you feel healthy. Well, you're going to have the strength to endure, all right, in the time of Jacob's trouble.
Somebody got Proverbs 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got something.
What you want,
James 1:3.
This is James 1:3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
And patience means what?
Suffering.
It means suffering. Suffering is good for you, all right?
But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and enter wanting nothing.
What does the next verse say?
If any man lack his wisdom.
Okay. What about verse 2? Read verse 2.
My brethren, counted all joy.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
When ye fall into diverse temptation, and it says on the thing, it says various trials.
That's right.
And King David asked the Lord to try his heart. So you're going to be tried with various trials, various different things where your flesh is going to be weak, where the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is going to break you down. But it's all to build you up for the time to come. It's like the military. You getting broken down to be built up. That's why they always yelling, they cussing out the damn platoons, they beating them down, breaking them down. So when they face with adversity in hell, they can endure it. They're not acting like no little punk bitch, because the ones that can't endure that boot camp, what do? They leave, and they're not in the army. So if you can't endure the boot camp, how are you going to endure in a battle
and be part of this army?
Yeah,
you know, because it tells you in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, and they stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. You got something?
I got something to go off the. Well, here, I'll pull this in my Matthew 4.
Well, let me get that.
Okay, well, I got some after. Did you pull that Proverbs 8?
I already yeah.
Okay, well, I got some for Proverbs 8. This is Deuteronomy 32:15. Because basically, if we were in a state that we were well taken care of, if we had everything we want, we forsake the Lord, and we've done it in the past. So this is Deuteronomy 32:8. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxed and fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the most high power which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So that's what we did when we weren't taken care of, when we did have the land, when we were flossed out. And that's the same thing that you see here in America with our people. If you give a nigga a nice car, a big booty bitch, and a couple of dollars, he don't care about nothing. He gonna make sure he got nice shoes on his feet. He gonna make sure he stay fed and make sure he get his blunt every other day, and that's all he gonna care about.
Well, you know what? I got a cousin that happened to, all right? When my cousin was down and doing bad, you know, he was adamant for Jesus, you know. But as soon as he started getting some money, you know, he got him a nice little suburban truck, got him a house to stay in, you know. Or you know what? I found out that the Bible ain't real, you know, that we the original people, You know, so he got into some Kemet shit. You know, he forsake the Most High Heavenly Father, and that's the spirit on all of you jakes, man. You know, once you start doing good, the Most High isn't in your mind anymore. You know, so I think the Most High Heavenly Father, that he's putting us in a position that we don't have too much and we don't have too little, but we always have enough to get by. And that puts us in a state of content. That puts us in a state of faith. You know, we're satisfied. All right. And we trust and we know that when the time comes that the Most High will be able to, we know who's helping us. Like, for an example, if a brother loses one job and he needs to get another one, who do you ask for to give you that job? You ask the Most High, because you know that all things that you have comes from the Most High Heavenly Father. I got a quick precept, all right? Because one of the first scriptures that we grabbed was that Proverbs 23 and 4, which says, labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom, all right? Because it's not about being rich in this place, all right? You want to be rich in faith, all right? Faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You want to be rich in wisdom. You want to be rich in understanding of the scriptures, you know? Because your whole duty as a man is not to, you know, get rich in this place. I know that's what the world teaches you, you know, to do your best so that you can get a good job, so you can take care of your woman and your children. No, all right? If you want to take care of your family that you have, seek Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, all right? And don't turn away from it. You know, the whole duty of us as men, as Israelite men, is this right here. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. You know, so that's what we're supposed to do. You know, it tells you right here. Matter of fact, can you grab it? Aina, Proverbs 11 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Esau flying over the
Proverbs 11 and 4. Riches, well, Proverbs 11 and 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death.
So your money and your wealth and your riches isn't going to save you in the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. It's not going to save you in the day of the Lord. You know, you can't pay President Putin not to shoot missiles on America. All right, you can't pay Iran not to shoot missiles on America. You can't buy a ticket on the chariot. All right. So you taking there's going to be a lot of people that seek to save their lives, and they're going to take the RFID chip because they're going to want their riches. They're going to want their old lives back, but that's not going to profit them in the day of the Most High's wrath. What's going to profit a man is going to be your righteousness. All right. And what's a form of righteousness? Being content with the Most High Heavenly Father, being content with his prophecies, being content with his word, you know, which is ultimately doing what? Having faith in the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. It says, but righteousness delivereth from death. So that's what's going to save you. It's not going to be taking the Esau's carnal mark.
I got a precept. Mark 8 and 35, 34. And when he had called the people unto him, and with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him come, deny himself, and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever save his life shall lose it, but whosoever loses his life for my name's sake and the gospel, the same shall save it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. That's a bad precept right there.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? God, that's it.
That's right. You know what? Can you grab that Matthews 4? And grab whatever you got though. You
This verse of Matthew.
you grab that first,
Right.
and then grab the Matthews because it goes right with that precept of the
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 7. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as you are partakers of the sufferings, so shall you also be of the consolation. All right, so we basically just have to suffer now to receive our reward. Don't chase after the riches and the glory on this side, all right, then to get destroyed, then to lose out on the other side. That's Matthew.
Hey, before you grab that, let me because it says can you read that verse again?
2 Corinthians 1 and 7. And our hope of you is steadfast, steadfast, knowing that as you are partakers of the sufferings, so shall ye be also of the consolation.
God. And the scripture says right here, because our consolation is going to come, you know, when Yahushua come. But you have carnal men and women that are seeking a consolation right here on this side.
God.
That's the reason why the scripture says it says right here, it says, but woe unto you, this is Luke 6 and 24, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. You know, so all of these people that are seeking riches, you know, all of these people that are full right now, you know, they're gonna lack riches, they're gonna hunger. You know, the people that are laughing and rejoices now, their laughter is gonna be turned into mourning.
Got Matthew. You want me to start at 1?
You can start at. Let me see. You can start because I was just gonna hit the points on it. Let me see. So go start at 3.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 3.
You know, which we know that Matthew's the 4th chapter begins off with the Yahushua being led by the Spirit into the wilderness and fasting for 40 days and being tempted of Satan. But there's things that Satan said to him, all right? And Yahushua countered it with the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and that's the same way that you have to be when you're tempted by Satan. But there's key things that Satan said to Yahushua. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High Power, command that these stones be made bread.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High Power.
And that's heavy because the average man isn't content, all right, to the point where he can go without bread. You know, the average man, he can't fast. He can't go an hour. He can't go minutes without eating. You know, so he doesn't believe this scripture. He doesn't believe that what does it say? It says, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. He doesn't believe that man should live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. You know, so he'll do whatever within his means to fill his stomach. So if that means selling his soul, he'll do so. And this is Sirach 10 and 9. It says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, a man that's very lustful. All right. It says, for such an one setteth his soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. You know, casting away your bowels, that means to shit. All right. So because that man wants his stomach to always be full, he's willing to sell his soul for it. And this is the reason why a lot of people are going to take that chip, because they're not content with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay.
Or are you gonna get yours?
Get these yours.
This is Second Edges chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 15. It's just showing another example, because whenever the Most High would give us what we want, whenever He had us for, whenever He had us taken care of, we would forsake Him. That's why He keeps us in this lowest state now, so we always keep Him in remembrance. All right, so this is Second Edges chapter 1, verse 15. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quals were a token to you. So the quals were as a token to you. I gave you tents for
The quells?
Quells, I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, you murmured there and triumphed not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur.
Hebrews 11.
Verse 17, where are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry unto me? So He was taking care of us in the wilderness, feeding us, but it still shows that we still murmured. That's why all the things that happened to us had to happen, because He had to whoop our ass to get us to learn. That's why you're not going to be in the truth hitting the lottery, because if you hit the lottery, you'd be like that dude that was in Great Millstone. First thing he did, go buy a house for his woman. Don't help out no Akim, don't help out the apostles. Yeah, no, he not the truth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went cashed out. That's why the Lord doesn't give us the full contents of your heart. And if that's what you're searching for while in this truth, then you should just leave now, because you're not going to get it. You chasing that pipe dreams, like Jake said. Okay, you got that.
This is Hebrews 12 and Hebrews 12. I'll just start from 1. I'll just start 2. Looking unto I'll start from 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahushai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. So we're following under that race of Yahushai, following behind him, and he's already finished, and he's just waiting for us, and he's able to help us to get through it. But it's in verse 1, it's talking about the race, and then it's talking about suffering. So because when you run in a race, you're suffering. You run a long duration time. Your legs gonna break down, your body gonna break down, your mind gonna break down. It's for a long race, you're gonna start breaking down. But you gotta keep pushing through. You gotta keep pushing through like Yahushua, because he said despising the shame. He didn't want to go through that. He didn't want to suffer the cross. He didn't want to go through any of that. But he pushed through. He pushed through the shame. He pushed through the cross, so that he can receive the prize. Verse 3: for considering him that endures such what's that word?
I got picked up.
Contradiction of sinners against him, least ye wary in faith and in your mind, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. So we be tripping a little bit about the hell we catch, but we haven't even had death faced in front of us. Because eventually we're gonna be faced with being put to death, being basically striving against blood. If you gonna serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, or you gonna take this chip, and serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is then putting you to death. This is verse 5, and ye shall and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you, as much as unto children, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. for whom the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua loveth, he chastens and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh deals with you as with sons. For what son is whom the Father chastens not? So we want to be sons of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We want to be a part of his children. So we have to suffer. We have to go through hell. We have to suffer tribulation. We have to go through bearing our cross, just like Yahushua did, because he had to go through, and he's a chief of the chief, and we're following behind him. And we gotta go through. We gotta suffer shame. We gotta bear our cross. We have to go through the chastening of Yahweh Yahushua, because Yahushua was chastened of his father, and he went through it, and he just kept pushing on, man. Even though I say he despised the shame, he didn't want to do that. When you read the scriptures, it said he prayed 3 times, but he pushed through. He pushed through it, and what? Now he sits at the right hand of Yahweh for eternity. But that's all right.
Okay, you got some more scriptures? Just let them unload them.
Okay, this Hebrews 8 and 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. So we have to suffer with Yahushua. We have to suffer to receive the same reward he did. Because like it says in Ezra, how are you going to receive the prize if you don't go through that straight and narrow? If you're hoping for the wide and want the kingdom, that don't mix. You gotta suffer that straight and hope for the wide, man. And keep pushing on and go through that path with the fire on one side and water on the other, and to see and keeping your mind focused, like there's a kingdom right down that road. I just gotta keep walking. Yeah, it's fire right here and there's water right there, and I know if I fall, I'm gonna be fucked. But I'm gonna pray to Yahweh Shai and look forward and see the kingdom, man, and keep going. Because we're at the end. We just gotta keep going. You gotta see the finish line.
Kind of. That's being content right there. All right. Yeah, you're content. You're willing to go through all of the hell right now just so that you can get the glory of the kingdom. You know, just so that you can get an incorruptible crown. All right. You know, you're willing to sacrifice being asleep. You're willing to sacrifice being tired, you know, to do the work of Yahweh Shai, man. You might get off work and you've been working all day, and brothers say, let's do a lesson, and you get right up and do that lesson, even though you may not want to do it. You know, that's being content right there. You know, and there's other forms of being content. You got to get out of that state of being relaxed. You got to get out of a state of being complacent. All right. I'm not speaking about being content in that regard, you know, feeling like you're doing enough in this ministry, you know, or feeling like you're doing enough to be accepted unto Yahweh Shai. Now, I'm talking about being content in regards to, you know, that the word of Yahweh Shai is going to come to pass, you know. So you know that you're going to have problems in this world. You know that you're going to catch hell in the flesh, and you're willing to do that. You know, you're willing to, you know, be satisfied with catching hell so that you can gain the kingdom. You know, you got something else?
Yeah, just one more verse.
If you got anything, you know.
For I reckon that the suffering of this present times are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So it's not, that's one of my favorite scriptures, is the suffering that we go through isn't going to match the kingdom, man. It's gonna be like, what the fuck? What was I complaining about?
That's right.
What the fuck was going through my head? Why was I tripping about that? Why was I tripping about Esau? Why was I tripping about martial law? Yeah, it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be tumultuous. But when we get in the kingdom, like, holy shit, that was easy.
Our light affliction.
Yeah, kind of.
You know,
because we just gotta that tunnel vision, man. When I was in the world, I was fighting. When you had a fight coming up, man, that's what you was focused on, man. You training, you getting ready. You
brought that out early.
Okay,
that I'd be single.
Yeah,
you know,
you just focus on that one thing, man. The day before the fight, you do the weigh in, and your mind is set on that fight, man. It's I gotta fight tomorrow morning. I gotta have my mind ready. And then after the fight, if you win, you get to relax, you get to chill, you get to enjoy yourself. You lose, you go back to training and get your ass in that bag. But we're hoping to win this fight, man. And after we win that fight,
it's already won.
Yeah, kind of.
It's already won.
Yep, kind of, because y'all finished it. And we just playing out the rounds.
That's right.
And we're gonna get the victory through Yahweh Shai, Lord. Will we endure and be a part of that?
Kind of, it's like a rigged fight. You know, this fight is rigged. You know,
you just gotta.
The elect already won. Yeah. You know, they're just fighting it just for the Most High's purpose. But it's the elect already. You know they got the victory already.
Yeah.
God.
And then after the victory, what comes? The rest. So yeah.
Hey, you got anything right now?
Precept.
Kind.
74 and 5. But wast thou all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy misery.
That's right. No, I said that's right.
For I know now I am ready to be offered, and the day of my departure is at hand, because we know we at the end of this, and we know the departure is close. So why would you want to take your hand off the damn plow when we're working? You almost done working, nigga.
That's right. You're complaining about work. You're tired because you've been working all day, and here it is. You got about 12 minutes until you get off, but because you had a rough day at work, you decide to quit. All you had to do is wait that goddamn 12 minutes,
God.
You got more on that?
God, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Almighty have righteous judge shall give me at that day, and not only me, but to all of them that also love his appearing. God, that's it.
God, so I'm gonna just end off the lesson by reading a few scriptures on content. This is Philippians 4 and 11. Salakia, hold on just a second. All right, this is the book of Philippians 4, and beginning at 11, it says, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things, I'm instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. And this is the spirit that we have to be in. You got to have to be able to suffer need. When you're able to suffer need, you got to be in the spirit of abounding, which when you look up the word abound, it means to exceed the set measure. So you got to know, and that's a balance right there. That's a perfect balance. So you got to know how to be balanced in this thing. And in order to be balanced, you have to be content. All right. 1 Timothy 6 and 8, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. Because the Most High is always going to come through, and give you what you need when you need it. So basically just putting your faith in the Most High, because he's the one that feeds us. He's the one that give us the clothing on our body, or these houses, that we live in to clothe us. This is Hebrews 13 and 5. It says, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake you. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai isn't going to leave us nor forsake us. You know, so be content with that. And because I mentioned being content in the form of faith. All right, having faith is being content. All right, because you're poor, you don't have nothing, but you trust in the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You're content with His word. Now that's faith. All right, so this is Habakkuk 2:4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." Romans 1:17. For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. And pretty much the next two verses repeats the same thing. All right, so you have to be content in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You have to be content in the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, knowing that no matter the things that you go through right now, the things that you lack, the suffering that you go through, you know, whether it's not having enough money, you know, you can't purchase the food that you need, you know, you're stuck eating beans and rice for a whole week, you know, your car might break down, you got to walk. All of those things are happening to us to strengthen us. So hey, be content with that right now, because a lot of people doesn't have the strength, you know, to go through that adversity. Therefore, they'll do all different kind of abominable and wicked things in order to get through, instead of putting their trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and believing, okay, well, Yahweh, you did say that you never leave nor forsake us, you know, or when have you ever seen the seed of the righteous forsaken or begging bread, you know, knowing that the Most High is going to come through because His word is true, you know. And I like the way that rhyme right there, you know. Hey, so be content, you know, because being content is showing your faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, so with that, hey, we hope that this lesson was edifying to you elect that are out there. You know, the water Yahweh Yahushua for allowing us to do this video, you know. And with that, shalom.
Wow.